The match is coming alive at Bad Blood, and it is a certified banger. But Gunther climbs the top rope with Sami Zayn, and he nails him with a top rope powerbomb. The match has been a banger, but Gunther may have just sealed his fate, and he locks the rear naked choke on Sami Zayn. Gunther locks it in and cinches it in, and Sami Zayn struggles to breathe, and his eyes start to roll into the back of his head, and Gunther wins the match when the referee stops it, thus getting a big-time victory over Sami Zayn. A complete 180 and the complete opposite of what happened at WrestleMania. The next night on Raw, Gunther comes out to the ring with Ludwig Kaiser, and he explains that there's no one on this roster that can compete with him, and there's no one that can beat him. That is until it's Giovanni Vinci, and he returns. He was taken out months ago by Ludwig Kaiser, and it was by the orders of Gunther. And Giovanni Vinci takes the fight to Gunther and takes him out. And he actually is able to beat down the ring general and have the ring general running for his life. And then Ludwig Kaiser tries to step up for the ring general, but he gets nailed and dropped with a spinning powerbomb by his former Imperium brethren. And the match is set for the next week on Raw. Gunther versus Giovanni Vinci in a grudge match. And as the match is going on, it's not even a match. It's a brutal beatdown. It's a mugging from the ring general. He is absolutely destroying Giovanni Vinci. He nails him with multiple chops. His chest is beat red, and he locks in a Boston Crab. But this is not just any ordinary version of the Boston Crab. This is a modified version, as he drives his knee right into the canvas, and he's bending that back. When all of a sudden, Ivar makes his iconic in-ring return, and he takes the fight to the World Heavyweight Champion. Ivar makes his return and saves Giovanni from an even more vicious beating, and the match is made official for Crown Jewel, as Ivar makes the challenge to Gunther for a match that is sure to be one hell of a contest. It's definitely going to be a banger, as the World Heavyweight Champion defends against a very worthy challenger who over the last year has faced guys like Bronson Reed, among others. And he's taken the fight, and the match is an absolute banger as advertised. Ivar is able to keep up with the ring general, but the ring general gets up and he nails him with the Last Symphony. He goes for the cover, but no, he can't get it. Ivar kicks out, and Ivar shows resiliency. He shows that he can compete with the level of magnitude that Gunther is, and he nails him face first into the mat. And then Ivar climbs that turnbuckle, and he measures Gunther up, and he ends up hitting the ring general with his signature moonsault. Just beautiful stuff. But no, it's not enough. Gunther kicks out. The ring general is more resilient than ever, and he nails Ivar with a clothesline after Ivar screams in his face. It's absolute cinema, and the ring general is able to retain in Saudi. The ring general moves on, and meanwhile, later on in the night, Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins would fight in a number one contenders grudge match. Bronson Reed would climb the turnbuckle, but Rollins would move out the way and avoid all impact, and he would go to the top, and he would eye Bronson Reed, and he would nail him with a super curb stomp, and he would move on to become the number one contender at Survivor Series for the World Heavyweight Championship. On the episodes of Raw leading up to Survivor Series, Rollins and Gunther would get to know each other a little bit more. Rollins reminds Gunther that for almost a year, Rollins carried Raw on his shoulders and held that prestigious championship, and he plans on taking it again. Remember, he got injured, and Drew McIntyre was able to capitalize on the injury, but Seth Rollins is 100% now, and it is sure to be a banger at Survivor Series. At Survivor Series, we are in for the match of the ages. Two of the very best in the world of professional wrestling. Two of the very best on Raw competing. Damn near, I say, two of the top guys on Raw. And it's a certified banger. As expected, Rollins and Gunther go after each other. Gunther nails him with a short arm lariat. And Gunther looks to win, but Rollins ends up kicking out. And Rollins heads to the top rope, and he nails a Phoenix Splash on the ring general. It's a back and forth contest, and these two destroy each other. All of a sudden, Gunther hits him with a power bomb, that signature power bomb. Ref goes for the count. And no, Seth Rollins is able to kick out. He's able to outlast that power bomb, and then he gets up and he nails Gunther with a massive pedigree, just jamming his face right into the mat. As the referee goes for the count, can he get it? And no, Gunther kicks out. They kick out of each other's signature maneuvers, and then at the climax of the match, the ref gets inadvertently taken out. All of a sudden, Seth Rollins looks to capitalize the curb stomp, and out the crowd, a shocking turn of events. CM Punk. CM Punk is here, and he takes out Rollins, and he turns his back on the fans. In a shocking turn of events, he turns his back on the fans, and he helps Gunther retain the World Championship. And he has his sights set on Seth Rollins. And then, later on in the main event, we see a three-way elimination tag match between all three brands, in which the final three is Ilya Dragunov for Raw, Trick Williams for NXT, and Carmelo Hayes for SmackDown. It's a full circle moment from their three-way feud back in NXT. And Ilya Dragunov ends up getting momentum, and he nails Trick Williams with a Torpedo Moscow. Then he heads to the top and hits him with a massive H-bomb from the middle rope to give Team Raw the victory, as he leads Raw to victory. And then, the final Raw of 2024, there's a battle royal between 8 of the best competitors to figure out the next number one contender for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship, in which that match will take place on the first Raw of the new year in 2025, which is also the first Raw on Netflix. It is 8 of the greatest superstars on Raw, and Karrion Kross, Jey Uso, Damian Priest, Ludwig Kaiser, Dominic Mysterio, and Pete Dunne. And it is an absolute crazy chain of events. Dominic Mysterio able to get a full circle moment and eliminates Damian Priest to become number one contender. Damian Priest was so close to getting his rematch with Gunther, but it is once again a member of the Judgment Day getting in his way. And the heat on this guy is ultra heat. But then, the Ring General makes his way to the ring. On the first Raw on Netflix, Dominic has to face this savage from Austria. Dominic tries to fight. He tries to become World Heavyweight Champion, but he's met with chops. And then he lands a super kick on Gunther. And he looks to defeat the Ring General and become World Heavyweight Champion. And imagine if he can bring the world title back to the Judgment Day. How proud Finn would be, but he gets nailed with a lariat by the Ring General. Dominic has no idea who he's messing with. And sadly for him, it is the Ring General who, excuse my language, but he absolutely beats the shit out of this kid. And just to put the icing on the cake, he locks him in a single leg Boston Crab, and he cinches it in, and he sends a message to the entire roster along with the Judgment Day that nobody can mess with the Ring General. Dominic Mysterio taps, and the Ring General gets on the mic after the match, and he says, "No one on this roster is able to compete with me. Therefore, at the Royal Rumble, instead of defending my title, I will be competing in the Royal Rumble match, and I will go on and win it, and I will have WrestleMania off." The Ring General enters the Royal Rumble at the number one spot as the World Heavyweight Champion. But at the number 2 entrant, it's Chad Gable. It's a full circle moment. Chad Gable and Gunther have history. They fought multiple times over the Intercontinental Championship, and now it's Gunther's the world champion. Gunther called out Chad Gable in front of his kids, damn it. This is still personal. Chad Gable never forgot, and now they are both number 1 and number 2 in the Rumble match. And don't get it twisted, there is absolutely no love lost. It's still like it was back then. There's still bitter animosity between both these men. But in this Rumble match, the World Heavyweight Champion absolutely dominates the field, getting multiple eliminations over guys like Tommaso Ciampa, Rey Mysterio, who's a veteran by the way, and Gunther is able to destroy the field. Chad Gable eliminates The Miz, and then Gunther sneaks up from behind and gets another act of revenge, and he slaps Gable in his face, figuratively, lands a powerbomb, and then ends up eliminating Gable. But at number 29, it would be the man who turned his back on the fans back at Survivor Series, attacking Seth Rollins. And number 29 is the best in the world, and he's face to face with the World Heavyweight Champion. And shall Punk maybe win this thing? He might just end up challenging Gunther at WrestleMania. Punk wants his WrestleMania main event, and he might want it against Gunther. But then at number 30, it's Ilya Dragunov, the Mad Dragon, a man who has so much history with the World Heavyweight Champion himself. He enters at number 30, and the final three is three of the very top guys in the game. And then in the match itself, there's a bit of a stare down at one point in the match between Gunther and Ilya Dragunov. We remember all those battles that they had in NXT and on the Indies. But sadly, the moment is broken up by CM Punk. He ruins it for everybody, and he nails a GTS on Ilya Dragunov. But then all of a sudden, through the crowd is Seth Rollins, and he's wearing a hood, and he lays out CM Punk. He lays him out with a curb stomp, and he eliminates CM Punk, getting some revenge from back at Survivor Series. And then it is the final two in the Royal Rumble match. Ilya Dragunov and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Only one can head to WrestleMania, but will it be the World Champion himself? And of course, Ilya Dragunov and Gunther have an intense stare down. Just like they had back in NXT. And they both run at each other, and Ilya Dragunov is able to land the Torpedo Moscow before Gunther can land a clothesline. Dragunov is fired up. The Mad Dragon goes crazy, and the Mad Dragon is able to eliminate Gunther, and he wins the Royal Rumble. But it is determined on the road to WrestleMania. It's not over yet. Adam Pearce tells Gunther he will defend the World Heavyweight Championship at the Elimination Chamber in an Elimination Chamber match. It is the biggest test for Gunther as the World Heavyweight Champion yet. You've got 6 of the best talents on Raw, 5 challengers: Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, Karrion Kross, Ludwig Kaiser, and Seth Rollins are all gunning for that World Heavyweight Championship before WrestleMania. Yarin Ganarel has the odds stacked against him, but we reach the climax of the match. Sami Zayn is aiming to hit a Huluva kick on Gunther, but Ludwig Kaiser sacrifices himself and moves in front of Gunther, and he eats the Huluva kick and the elimination. But before Ludwig could get out, before Sami could capitalize, Gunther capitalizes with a massive lariat to eliminate Sami Zayn. And then it's down to Gunther and Seth Rollins. Ludwig Kaiser and Sami Zayn have to leave the pod, when all of a sudden we would see another shocking turn of events. It's CM Punk, and he enters the chamber before the door can close. Seth Rollins is looking to finish off Gunther, but CM Punk has already entered the chamber. He runs at Seth Rollins. This is so personal, and he looks, and he lands another GTS on Seth Rollins, and he screws this man out of the World Heavyweight Championship again. These two have had an all-time bitter rivalry, and will finally come ahead at WrestleMania. Punk once again aids Gunther and gives him practically the world title win. Gunther retains, and this crowd is absolutely pissed. Gunther has just went to war, and he's defeated 5 other men in the Elimination Chamber. The toughest test as champion yet. All of a sudden, Ilya Dragunov's music hits. The Royal Rumble winner, his music hits. He heads to the ring, and he lets Gunther know straight away. He doesn't even have to say anything. The fans know who Ilya Dragunov has chosen for WrestleMania. It is all going to go down, and Ilya Dragunov yells at Gunther. He gets crazy, and he nails him with a Torpedo Moscow. And then he nails Gunther with a belt shot across the skull, and he signals the end, potentially for the world title reign of Gunther. He lays out Gunther, and he has a lot of momentum heading into WrestleMania. Ilya Dragunov is ready for the fight of a lifetime. And on Raw, they have a few confrontations over the course of the episodes of Raw leading up to WrestleMania. Gunther tells Ilya that he's not going to beat them, but Ilya Dragunov reminds Gunther that in WWE, Gunther has lost to 3 opponents, and Ilya Dragunov is one of those guys. The last time Ilya Dragunov and Gunther competed, Ilya Dragunov made Gunther tap out. So what's going to happen at WrestleMania? It's WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. It's night 1, opening contest. The Royal Rumble winner, the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, versus the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. The moment is surreal, ladies and gentlemen. These two have worked their way up from the Indies to NXT to now on the main roster on the biggest show of the year. And it's an absolute barn burner. Just like their days in NXT UK, this is an absolute banger to open up WrestleMania Night 1. Gunther locks in a Boston Crab. He tries the limb targeting offense, but Dragunov is able to escape. And then Dragunov heads to the top rope, and he nails a massive senton. A diving senton off the top, and he goes for the cover. And the question is, can he finish off Gunther? And the answer is no. Gunther kicks out. These two have a tremendous history together, and they're finally getting to fight for the world title on the grandest stage of them all. And Gunther lands a short arm lariat on the Mad Dragon, and can he finish him off? We come to find out that no, Dragunov kicks out. It's an absolute banger, ladies and gentlemen. Match of the year contender, Dave Meltzer, is going crazy right now. And Ilya Dragunov climbs the top rope, and he nails a massive coast to coast from one side of the ring to the other. These two put it all on the line, ladies and gentlemen. And Dragunov goes for the H-bomb, and he lands it. And he looks to finish off Gunther. 1, 2, no. Gunther kicks out. It's not enough to keep the ring general down. And then Dragunov looks to go crazy. He's got fire in his eyes, looking for a torpedo Moscow, but nobody home. Nobody home. Gunther's able to dodge. And then Gunther gets him up, and he nails him with the Last Symphony. He goes for the cover. He's looking to put an end to Dragunov, but no. Dragunov kicks out. These two will both not stay down. Then Gunther looks for a powerbomb. But now Dragunov resists. Dragunov looks to get out of it. And then Dragunov, using all resiliency, off the ropes and nails him with a torpedo Moscow. Goes for the cover. Can he get it? 1, 2. No. Gunther kicks out again. These two are tearing the house down. This crowd is going crazy, looking for another H-bomb. But this time Gunther gets the boot up. Gunther is able to land a big boot. And Gunther looks to lock in the rear naked choke on Dragunov. The Mad Dragon is in trouble, and he could be passing out here. If he passes out on the grandest stage of WrestleMania, he will not be able to become the World Heavyweight Champion. All the work that Dragunov has put in, and Dragunov resists. Dragunov looks to get out of it, and he does. And Dragunov locks in the sleeper, the same rear naked choke that ended Gunther's UK title reign back in NXT. He has the same submission hold locked in. Will the same result happen? Will Gunther tap out? Will he tap, ladies and gentlemen? Will we have a repeat of history? It's locked in tight. And Gunther looks to fight back, and no, he gets out of it. Gunther doesn't give up. Gunther doesn't give up, and he kicks him in the gut, and he nails Dragunov with a massive powerbomb. He nails it. And then Gunther's not done. He picks him up, kicks to the gut once again, and he nails him with another powerbomb. And then Gunther, still not done, as defiant as ever, able to get out of it, and he nails him with a massive lariat. And Gunther's still not done. He goes to the top, looking to put the icing on the cake, goes for it, and he lands a top rope body splash. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. Gunther retains the World Heavyweight Championship on the grandest stage of them all. Gunther has done it. And on the Raw after WrestleMania, it's where things get interesting. The crowd is irate. They wanted Dragunov to be the new champion. But Imperium is out there cutting a vicious promo. So you really thought Dragunov was going to beat me? I told you guys multiple times earlier this year. No one can beat the Ring General. No one. All of a sudden, Ludwig Kaiser turns his back on Gunther, and he assaults Gunther. The crowd is stunned, and so am I. Ludwig Kaiser, a longtime friend and ally of Gunther. They've traveled the world. They've traveled the continent of Europe. Ludwig Kaiser has turned his back on Gunther, and his true goals and aspirations are revealed. He picks up the World Heavyweight title, and he nails the Ring General. He nails his own best friend with the championship belt off the skull, and Ludwig Kaiser stands over his body, and he makes it known to Gunther that he is going to be the one to take the world title from him, and he's going to do it at Backlash. So, you want to turn your back on me, huh, Ludwig? I know you better than anyone. I'm going to cripple you like how Goldberg crippled Bret Hart back in the day. I'm going to make your chest bleed. Gunther chops the camera, and he makes his presence felt. And over the course of the lead up to Backlash, it is Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser who get into a massive brawl, to which Adam Pearce has to come out, and he has to make it official. It'll be Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser for the world title in a steel cage match at Backlash. It's going to happen inside the confines of a steel cage. Two very good friends turned into bitter enemies. It's an absolute war for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash. Ludwig smashes Gunther over the steel cage wall, and Gunther does the same, and he hits him Undertaker and Shawn Michaels style back at Bad Blood 1997. And then they both climb the top of the cage, and they are brawling. It's a bloody war. It's a bloody mess. Two former friends turned enemies, brawling on top of the cage, all to become the World Heavyweight Champion. The title's on the line. They're going back and forth. They're both teetering. They're fighting back and forth until Gunther takes Ludwig and he throws him back into the ring. But instead of going out of the ring to win the match, he climbs the top even more, and he looks down at a defenseless Ludwig, and he nails a massive diving splash off the top of the cage. Gunther has crushed Ludwig's ribs by diving off the cage, and he nails a powerbomb on Ludwig Kaiser, and he puts an end to that chapter of their epic rivalry, and Gunther moves on Raw. Speaking of Raw, the next episode of Raw would be after the draft, and we would see 3 major draft picks get drafted to the Red Brand, and Andrade, along with RKO, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. These 3 would move from SmackDown in the draft, and it would get really interesting. They would all claim to want a title shot at the world title, and they would enter a triple threat match to see who will become the next #1 contender. Orton with an RKO to Andrade, when all of a sudden the Ring General isn't having it, and he interferes, and the match is thrown out. He attacks Randy Orton. He attacks all 3 of them. Gunther lays out all 3 competitors, takes out Orton with the powerbomb, then he lays out Andrade with the powerbomb, and the Ring General isn't done because then he eyes Kevin Owens, and he nails him with the Last Symphony. Gunther is very irate that these 3 were competing for the chance to fight him. He disposes of what he calls human trash, and he gets rid of him before grabbing a microphone. How many times do I have to keep saying it? No one on this roster can beat me. Not even a few schmucks from SmackDown that have just turned back on Raw. Hold on, Gunther. It's Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce makes it official that because the match was thrown out, Gunther will defend the World Heavyweight Championship at King and Queen of the Ring against all 3 competitors in a fatal 4-way match. It is King and Queen of the Ring, massive fatal 4-way match. 4 of the greatest competitors in WWE: Andrade, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and your Ring General, the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. It is an absolute chaotic match, ladies and gentlemen, to open up King of the Ring. And Gunther defends his title against 3 of the very best in this business. And of course, you got RKO, who are looking for some revenge on Gunther. They team up on Gunther in the match. They kick him down. They beat his ass. They beat the Ring General's ass, ladies and gentlemen. They try to destroy him. Randy Orton takes Gunther and sets up the table at ringside. And then he motions to Kevin Owens, and Owens dives off the top rope and puts him through the announcer's table. Gunther is down. And then Andrade looks to make quick work of Randy Orton with a huge top rope Hurricane Rana. Andrade brings that Lucha Libre style, but then again, he's ganged up on by KO and Orton. KO hits him with the powerbomb, but Orton stops him. And for a quick second, you can sense some tension. Orton wants the World Heavyweight Championship too. He has to catch up to John Cena. But Kevin Owens hasn't been champion in a long time. And then later on in the match, of course, again it happens. A stunner to Andrade. He goes for the pin. He goes for the cover. But once again, the Viper breaks it up because he wants to be a world champion. And he finally snaps and he throws Kevin Owens. It's now every man for themselves. But Gunther slides in. And he disposes of Randy Orton. And then he takes advantage and he nails Andrade with a kick right to the gut. And he nails him with a massive powerbomb. And now Orton and Kevin Owens, no one in sight. He locks in the single leg Boston Crab. And he cinches it in on Andrade. And he sits down real tight with it. And the Ring General puts a lot of pain on Andrade. And the pain is so much that Andrade is forced to tap out. Orton and Kevin Owens cannot make the save. When all of a sudden, after the match, thanks to Orton, Kevin Owens was not able to win it. Owens confronts Orton after the match, and there's a bit of a moment between the two. The two have just gotten emotional when all of a sudden this happens. Kevin Owens with a massive low blow to Orton. Kevin Owens has shocked the world, and he turns on someone he considered a friend. These two are dominating on SmackDown, and he takes the fight to Orton, nails him with a pop-up powerbomb. It's just like Batista and Rey Mysterio have bragging rights. And Kevin Owens nails an apron powerbomb on the Apex Predator, and that kick starts their feud. And that is how that happens. Kevin Owens turns into Kill Owens Kill, and then later on in the night in the main event, the King of the Ring for Raw, Finn Balor is the finals, and for SmackDown, it's Obafemi who got called up in the draft, and these two have an absolute barn burner. And Finn Balor looks to take the fight to Obafemi. Nails him with the dropkick in the corner, and he nails a massive springboard coup de grace. And he's able to get the cover on Obafemi. The referee counts. And Prince Balor is born again, ladies and gentlemen. The leader of the Judgment Day becomes the King of the Ring in 2025. Which means he also gets a title shot wherever he wants in the future. A guaranteed title shot goes to Finn Balor. The question is, when will he be using that title shot? But meanwhile, there's still some unfinished business on Raw before Balor can get his world title shot. Andrade claims that he wants one more shot. Andrade claims that he was blindsided and he knows that Gunther made him tap, but he believes it won't happen again. So the match is set for Clash of the Castle 3. World Heavyweight Championship, Andrade takes on Gunther. The big gold is on the line, and these two put on an absolute banger all the way in Europe at Clash of the Castle 3. Andrade takes the fight to the ring aisle. Andrade looks to make a comeback in the matchup. Sweeps the leg off from under the Ring General. Andrade is ready for a fight, but the Ring General catches him with a massive dropkick into the corner, and he looks to end him with a body splash. The question is, could Gunther land it? And your answer would be no. Andrade would move out the way, and Andrade would wind up. He would wind up, target Gunther, and he would nail a massive spinning elbow. The move that put away Apollo Crews last year. Goes for the cover. Can he get it? And no, Gunther is able to kick out. Gunther cannot be put down just like that. Andrade has to do more to become world champion. And he looks for a hammerlock DDT, but Gunther gets him, and he nails it with the Last Symphony. Gunther pins him, and he looks to win, and can he get it? Well, no, he cannot, because Andrade is as defiant as ever. Remember, El Idolo calls that victory Gunther had at King and Queen of the Ring a fluke. And then he goes, speaking of King of the Ring, he locks in the single leg Boston Crab just like he did 1 month earlier at King of the Ring. This time it's at Clash of the Castle. Is he going to make Andrade tap once again? Is he going to embarrass him again? But Andrade, this time, he's able to resist and he's able to get out of it. Andrade escapes and Andrade looks to catch Gunther and he lays him up on the top turnbuckle and he nails him with a massive arm-hooked DDT. He nails him with that modified version of the DDT. He looks to get a big-time win, but Gunther kicks out again. Nothing can put away the Ring General. He's so defiant. He's so resilient. He looks for a hammerlock DDT again, but the Ring General lands a massive lariat on him. The Ring General looks to capitalize. He looks to size up Andrade. He kicks him in the gut. And he looks to put the finishing touches. And he nails it with a massive power bomb. The referee goes for the count. And he's able to win and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. The Ring General does it. Until this happens. It's the King of the Ring winner. The 2025 King of the Ring, Finn Balor, confronts Gunther at the end of Clash of the Castle. And the match is set for 1 month later at Money in the Bank. That should be a certified banger. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Money in the Bank 2025. King of the Ring, Finn Balor versus the World Champion, Gunther. And it is a certified banger. Balor gets his chest beaten. Balor also gets his back worked on. Pause. And Gunther hits him. But now Balor with a massive tope con hilo over the top. It's an absolute banger, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd's enjoying it. He spins through and he lands a massive drop kick. And then he goes for the big drop kick, but he gets caught with a powerbomb in midair. Is that it? Can he get it? No, Balor's able to kick out. Balor, this is a different Balor, ladies and gentlemen. He was just the leader of the Judgment Day, and he pulls him in and lands a 1916. He lands it on Gunther. He gets his big ass up and drops him. Can he get the win? Do we have a new world champion? No. No, we don't. Balor's not able to do it right there. He signals for the end with a shotgun dropkick. He goes to the top. He looks to land a coup de grace in midair, and he gets stopped with a big boot in midair by Gunther. He's able to get the boot up right in Balor's face, and he lands a massive lariat right to the King. He picks him up, and then he lands a massive last symphony and looks to put the exclamation point on that win as he does. And he retains the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think anyone can beat this guy, ladies and gentlemen, until... Oh no, it's John Cena! It's John Cena! Cena's music plays, and he is indeed here. The man who's on his retirement tour. The man who's looking to become a 17-time world champion. Cena's here. And he's here to confront the World Heavyweight Champion. And it's a full circle moment. He shows up at Money in the Bank just like he did about 4 years earlier. And it is a crazy moment, ladies and gentlemen. This moment is filled with so much aura, it's crazy. Cena confronts Gunther and basically signifies that he wants a shot at SummerSlam. Later on in the night, ladies and gentlemen, the next big thing, Braun Breaker, after losing the IC title at WrestleMania to Sheamus, would end up winning the men's Money in the Bank. But then we move on to the Raw leading up to SummerSlam, where Cena and Gunther are in the ring. And Cena explains that he wants a world title shot at SummerSlam. Gunther says, you want a title shot? Well, you're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to prove it. All of a sudden, Karrion Kross and Xavier Woods are the Final Testament. This new version of the Final Testament would come out, and Karrion Kross would say John Cena is not ready for it. He would challenge Cena for a match next week on Raw, where the winner will challenge Gunther for the world title at SummerSlam. Cena accepts as Gunther watches on. It all goes down the following week on Raw. Kross is trying to get under the skin of John Cena in his retirement tour, and Kross nails him with a massive Doomsday Saito before he looks to finish Cena off with the crosshammer right to the back of the head. He looks to land it when all of a sudden we would see Kofi Kingston make his return after a few months ago where Xavier Woods almost took his career and ended it and joined the final testament. They run at each other, but Kofi nails him with a Trouble in Paradise. He gets revenge on Xavier Woods, and Karrion Kross is distracted before he tries to get back on track and run at Cena, but Cena is able to capitalize, recover, and he nails it with an attitude adjustment. Cena nails him with the AA. He stumbles, he's tired, but in the end, he does indeed get the massive win and pin over Karrion Kross. All of a sudden, Gunther would try to enter the ring, would try to take him out, try to blindside him, but Cena was too quick. Cena saw him. He rolls up Gunther, and he's able to keep Gunther's shoulders down for a total of 3 seconds before Cena ends up rolling out the ring, and he reminds Gunther that you only need 3 seconds to win a wrestling match, and at SummerSlam, he's going to do that and become a 17-time World Heavyweight Champion. It's all going to go down at the biggest party of the summer. I hope you're ready. It is time. The biggest party of the summer. John Cena, in his farewell tour, looks to become the 17-time world champion against Yaren Yanaral, who's held the title for a year up to this point. It was at this very event where he defeated Damian Priest last year to become world champion. He beats the absolute shit out of John Cena. But remember, this isn't any ordinary wrestler. This is John Cena we're talking about. He takes the chops, but he goes to the top and lands a massive signature leg drop across the back of the head. Gunther nails a massive lariat on the leader of the C Nation. He goes for the cover, looks for a win. Is he able to get it? But Cena's able to kick out. He's as defiant as ever. He's looking for 17 time. He's trying to break the record. He looks for a powerbomb, and Cena powers him up with a huge, massive move. Flips him over on his back. And then John Cena off the ropes does the signature comeback. He's looking to get back into the matchup. He's looking to face and beat Gunther once and for all. He's looking to defy the odds. He looks for the 5-knuckle shuffle. He screams, "You can't see me," at Gunther. And he nails it. And you know what's coming next, ladies and gentlemen. You've known for 15, 20 years. We all have. He's been in our childhood. Cena picks him up for the AA. He looks to drop him, but his back gives out. Gunther's too strong. His back gives out, and Gunther capitalizes with a massive powerbomb to John Cena. He powers out, and he takes down John Cena. He picks him up again. Kick to the gut again. No, not this. And another one. Another one to the leader of the C Nation. Then Gunther gets Cena in place. He locks in the rear naked choke, and John Cena's in some serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. That bicep is locked across the throat of the leader of the C Nation. You can see the eyes rolling into the back of his head. John Cena is struggling. He is struggling, ladies and gentlemen. The ring general's got it locked in tight. He's the world champion for a reason, and the referee is forced to call the bell. Cena did not tap out. He calls the bell, but Gunther's not done, damn it. After the bell, he locks it in again, and he does not let go this time. He keeps it locked around the throat. The ring general is trying to prove a message that not even the so-called GOAT can mess with him. This is what happens when you mess with the ring general, and he does not let go, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena ultimately passes out. You thought your GOAT was going to become the World Heavyweight Champion, huh? I don't think you people remember who I am. I am Yaren Yanaral. I have been the World Heavyweight Champion for over a year. I have been the World Champion of this company. I have been the star of Raw on Netflix for a year. And then John Cena out of nowhere, he's had enough. This is personal now. This reached a new boiling point. Before, I feel like there was a bit of mutual respect between these two. But now, after what happened at SummerSlam, Cena took it personally, and I can't blame him. Cena takes the fight to Gunther the next night on Raw, and Cena went up going back and forth with the ring general. He looks for a powerbomb on the stage, but Cena flips him over with a back body drop. Gunther lands back first on the ground, and then Cena picks him up and looks to finish him off for good. He's leaning on the ledge. He picks up Gunther, and he lands a massive super AA on concrete. The ring general's back has a sick thud as he hits the concrete, And the match is made for Unforgiven. The rematch at Unforgiven. It's Unforgiven, ladies and gentlemen. It's a rematch. It's another PLE that Triple H has brought back from the past. He brought back Bad Blood last year. This year, he brings back Unforgiven. And it is Gunther and Cena 2. Right away, Gunther is taped up from the assault from Cena a few weeks ago. But he looks for the limb targeting right off the back. Single leg Boston Crab on the leader of the C Nation. Can Cena get out of it? He's fighting big this time. This is his second opportunity at the world title. And he is able to escape the single leg Boston Crab. John Cena this time around puts it all on the line. If you thought SummerSlam was a lot, this is a lot, as he nails a suicide dive, a move that Cena doesn't do often on the outside. He looks for those shoulder tackles, but again, it's the second encounter. Gunther already anticipates what Cena's going to do. Gunther, with total disrespect, just trashing Cena, just kicking him right in his face, treating him like he's a piece of garbage. But this time, Cena eventually in the match actually gets the combination, and he looks to land the set-out powerbomb, and yes, he does. Cena gets ready, and he looks to scream those famous words, "You can't see me." He lands off the ropes and hits him with a 5-knuckle shuffle. And you know what's next, ladies and gentlemen. The second encounter between these two. It's now personal. The world title is still on the line. He looks for an AA, but Gunther is able to get the elbows in the face of Cena. And Gunther nails him with a massive lariat. Is this it? Is it the end? Referee counts. And no, Cena kicks out. It's not enough. Cena is more fired up this time around. He nails him with a back body drop. He gets him with the STF. Is he going to make the ring general tap? That would be so embarrassing. That would be so embarrassing for the ring general to tap, ladies and gentlemen. But the ring general does not tap. Indeed, he gets out of it. He elbows Cena in the face before he nails him with a massive last symphony. Is Cena's dream over? Reaching 17. Referee counts. No! Cena kicks out again. Cena was destroyed a month earlier, but now he knows all about Gunther. Gunther looks for a body splash, but nobody's home. Cena picks up Gunther, and he nails him with a massive attitude adjustment. He goes for the cover, but can he get it? Can he reach 17? And no. No, he can't just yet. He can't. He goes to the top rope. He looks to land an avalanche AA. Cena looks, and he actually does get it. He lands the avalanche attitude adjustment. He goes for the cover. Can he get 17? No. Gunther kicks out of that. The ring general has been the champion for a year. This is what happens. It's for a reason. He goes to the top, looks for the leg drop, but Gunther catches it with a powerbomb. Just like Batista back at SummerSlam 08, but it's still not enough. That was the move that broke Cena's neck back in 2008. Gunther tried to again. He looks for a last symphony, but Cena gets out of it. Cena gets out of it. He counters with a DDT, then picks him up for some more AAs. Another one. But he holds on, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena looking for a second one in a row. And he lands it. But wait, he holds on again. Looking for a third. He's looking for a third. Then he rolls through. No, not a fourth. Good God, Cena. Looking for the fourth AA. And yes, he's able to win. Cena covers Gunther. And Cena does it. Cena has done it. Cena breaks the record. 17-time world champion in WWE. Oh, you thought it was over. Well, it's not over yet. The story still continues. Gunther is furious. Gunther is mad. Gunther is sour. He has sour grapes, and he nails it with the championship belt. He just had his championship reign that was over a year taken from him from Cena. He nails it with the championship belt again. Gunther takes the fight to John Cena. What the hell is going on? Ruining this great moment. Cena broke the record, but now it's Gunther who's gonna break Cena. And now Gunther goes to the outside. Gunther looks to tear apart the announce table. He gets John Cena. He picks him up. Oh no. No, not to Cena. He picks him up. And Gunther drives him with a powerbomb through the announce table. Damn it. All of a sudden. Oh my God. It's the men's Money in the Bank winner for 2025. Braun Breaker, the fastest rising star, perhaps in WWE history. He makes his way to the ring after this vicious assault from Gunther. He makes his way to the ring and he cashes in Money in the Bank. Braun Breaker cashes in Money in the Bank. He picks up John Cena. No, don't ruin this moment like this, damn it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Braun Breaker looking to pick apart the bones. He's like a true dog picking up the scraps, and he nails Cena with a spear. He nails Cena with a spear. He covers him. And Braun Breaker becomes the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. His first year in the company, he becomes Intercontinental Champion. In year 2, he becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. He defeats the 17-time World Champion John Cena. And it was thanks to Gunther. Congrats to Braun Breaker. It's a great moment. But for Cena, he just had 17 taken from him. And it leads to one final match, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest stage. It happens at the next pay-per-view. But in the lead up to Bad Blood 2025, it gets so personal. There's personal digs taken at each other. Gunther and Cena targeting each other's families, targeting each other's livelihoods. It's not about championships anymore. It's so bad and personal that WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H is brought out on Monday nights and he announces Gunther and Cena 3 inside Hell in a Cell. It's Bad Blood 2025, Cena versus Gunther 3, no titles this time, just pride. It is a brutal war, ladies and gentlemen. Gunther and Cena back and forth, they use the cell to their advantage, they use weapons. Gunther is not really known for weapons, he's not good in this environment. Well, I shouldn't say he's not good, but he's not used to it. He's used to grappling, he's used to chops. This is just a brutal fight. There's barbed wire baseball bats, there's thumbtacks, there's chairs. Cena nails him with an A through the table. Referee counts, but it's not enough. Gunther kicks out. And if you haven't noticed, both these guys are beat down due to their attacks that they've had over the last few months. Gunther nails a powerbomb on the chair. Tries to end John Cena, but it's not enough. Cena kicks out. These two are absolutely beat down. It is finally coming to an end. Cena looks to nail an avalanche attitude adjustment. And yes, he does. He nails it right on the mat. There's so much blood. So much blood, it's a war. Is that it? Can he do it? And no, Gunther still kicks out, ladies and gentlemen. He still kicks out. Cena and Gunther get so personal. Gunther gets up and he lands another powerbomb on John Cena. It's brutal. It's getting hard to watch. This isn't PG. This is live on pay-per-view. Gunther climbs the top rope. He brings Cena with him before the unthinkable happens. He takes Cena, drives him through the table with an avalanche powerbomb. It's brutal. It's disgusting. Gunther covers him. The ref counts 1, 2, 3. The ring general wins this back and forth war. And we end this story. We've seen Gunther's title reign. Gunther has now had 3 of the best title reigns in the history of professional wrestling. United Kingdom Champion, Intercontinental Champion, World Champion. The ring general is truly one special talent. And I hope you enjoyed this booking, because that's how Gunther's world title reign should be booked.